It was the first time in almost a decade that the South American presidents have gathered under one roof. 10 heads of states and the Prime Minister of Peru spent Tuesday trying to find common points of interests and needs at a meeting hosted by Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva in the Itamaraty Palace, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Brazil.
In the region, we have allowed ideologies to divide us and interrupted integration efforts. We have abandoned channels of dialogue and mechanisms for cooperation, and in so doing, we all lost.
In recent years, the region suffered a deep split because of ideological differences. The main point of difference was in relation to Nicolás Maduro's government in Venezuela, who was accused of several human rights violations. Some countries severed relations with Maduro. Former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro even banned him from entering Brazil. Lula, on the other hand, reestablished dialogue after taking office and after 8 years without Maduro coming to Brazil, held bilateral talks. Lula aims to regain Brazil's active role in the region, but his defense of Venezuela's administration that there is a narrative against the country has generated surprise. In his speech, Uruguayan President Luiz Lacalle Pou said he did not agree with the affirmation.
You know what you think about Venezuela and Venezuela's administration. But if there are so many groups in the world that are trying to mediate so that Venezuela has a full democracy, human rights are respected, and there are no political prisoners, the worst we can do is to avoid the reality.
Chilean leader Gabriel Boric said he was glad that Venezuela is back to multilateral mechanisms, as the dialogue in these spaces helps to solve problems, but that shouldn't keep governments from acknowledging the violations of human rights in Venezuela. Lula also mentioned the creation of the Union of South American Nations, UNASUR, 15 years ago, that operated as a forum to resolve political disputes in the region, but the bloc was abandoned by part of its members because of the situation in Venezuela. Despite the ideological differences, the presidents could propose collective actions, like increase in trade and investments among the countries, improving infrastructure and logistics, working towards financial integration, and establishing a contact group headed by the foreign ministers of South American countries to draft a roadmap for the integration of the region. Luciana Tadeu from Brasilia to TRT World.